Typographic design evolved immensely in the decades of 1920s and the 1930s. It was a new generation where the modern style typography was introduced. The evolution to the new style took place in Central Europe, where many influential figures worked to innovate out of the traditional typefaces. These contemporary style was presented in two similar forms, the Modernist style in Germany and Art Deco in France. It was a breakthrough from the traditional decorative design to a new sophisticated look from the generation to come. Let's start off with the transitional stage. We first look into the new form of modern style in Germany, where they are moving forward from the classical symmetrical look to an asymmetrical typography, shown in the following. The one on the right demonstrates instead of using decorative details into the typeface, they use image to decorate the poster, and the typeface play a role in communications. This poster is made from Herbert Bayer. While the modernist style was popular in Germany, Art Deco design was rising in popularity among the French. It was the design that influenced graphic designers globally as the years would follow. In 1925, the exhibition Internationale des Arts Décoratifs et Industriels Modernes, in other words, the exhibition of French decorative art, showed a new form of art where it was framed within geometric shapes. It was quite similar to the modernist look, although had its differences. It was more geometric than asymmetrical, and rather linear, rectilinear. Furthermore, Art Deco typefaces is considered the most stylish, the most recognizable typography in the 20th century. It has characteristics of the traditional decorative details in its typeface with a modern look to it. During this era, all design principles were shifting towards the basis of geometric shapes, such as squares, circles, and triangles. They were present through industrial design, architecture, buildings, and typography. Essentially, the practical look of a design on how a typeface is constructed was influenced by the modern trend for the designer's work of art. This meant the typographers returned to a university-recognized look to its typeface. Instead of details, decoration, and classy look, the serifs, they had lines and arcs and sans serifs to create its typeface. Streamlined geometric design, straight lines, and sharp angles were preferred over the cursive scroll typography. This was a new generation of typefaces that had turned to the abstract, simplistic look to its design. Let's go on to the important figures. So, a German design school, Bauhaus, that opened in 1919, led many innovative projects towards the evolution of typography. They are considered an influential figure of the modern design. The Bauhaus were the ones who set the style of geometric, functional, and modern style throughout various design, from architecture to graphic and typography. Also, their design were all based by functionality, always in order, asymmetrical, and has a basic rectangular structure. Their faculty and students were the innovators who brought characteristics to the modern design aesthetics that we continue to use today. A notable individual, Laszlo Moholy-Nagy, was a part of the faculty since 1923 in Bauhaus. He brought his knowledge and passion through a new aspect of visual communication, which was type and pictures, which he taught in the school. Moholy-Nagy's vision was to create a new language of typography by the composition of typeface. Therefore, he encouraged the contrast and the boldness and the use of color in the typeface. The absolute clarity of aesthetics in the typeface was stressed in all his work to visually strike one's eye. One of Moholy-Nagy's students, Herbert Bayer, became a successful professor at Bauhaus as well. With his drive, he helped expand and develop a sustainable curriculum of typography and graphic design in the Bauhaus School of Design in Dessau. Bayer's style consisted of extreme contrast between the size and the weight of each typeface. This established a visual hierarchy and distinguishes the relative importance of the words, so for instance, the titles versus the subheadings. There are many elements used, such as rulers, bars, points, to unify distinct elements on a page, as well as it plays a significant role in leading the eye across the page and bringing its attention to important elements. Furthermore, in 1925, Bayer designed a font of sans serif, Futura, which consisted of circles and arcs, horizontal and vertical line, a conform of strict geometric models, with no upper cases. He called it universal, recognized for the simple and rationally constructed forms of the alphabet. Another significant individual towards the evolution of typefaces during the 20s and the 30s was Jean Chichehold, the author of Die neue Typography, advocated the new idea and the concept of typography. He wanted the typefaces to have a complete new aspect and delivered a new asymmetrical typography to express visual sensibility within the design. Rather than illustrations to make his book visually appealing, he used many different typefaces to decorate it in a communicative way. He believed that types should be elementary in form without embellishment, and so sans serif type was what he chose, and in a range of different weights, as in medium, italic, bold, extra bold, and proportion was declared modern type. The objective of the new typography was clarity, not simply beauty, but to develop form from the functions of the text. Lastly, a Frenchman, A.M. Cassandre, brought life to a typeface influenced by the Art Deco style. Oftentimes, the design of Art Deco was illustrated with bold colors of geometric shapes, which was used for effect of the design to ultimately attract the eye. Essentially, these characteristics of Art Deco design influenced the style of the typeface during this era. One of the most common media seen around the public's eyes, was advertising by using posters. And so, one's work would stand out virtually through the font. And so that played a huge role in the visual communication at this era. So, A.M. Cassandre brought his typeface in a more decorative approach, as he designed pignon that screamed the style of Art Deco. The continuous trend of the main stroke being the thickest and framed in geometric shapes to have a clean look to its typeface. The regulation of lines and forms of the typeface help leads the eye to the importance of the text. One of the most recognized typefaces during the Bauhaus movement was Futura by Paul Renner. You can see that it is based off of simple forms of geometric shapes: rectangles, squares, circles, and triangles. It is a softened look so that it is easier for the eye to be legible. This typeface brings a modern style to the design. The long ascenders and descenders benefits from the line spacing, and it helps portray the striking, song, and elegant of typeface. In all, this era had many trends that influenced typefaces for the next generation of design. And so, I guess I'll see you next time.